Hello, everybody. Welcome to Game Day Picks. I'm Tony T. We have an NBA rundown from Joseph Schultz, a top handicapper over at TonySpit.com for 2024 and 2023. And I'm going to tell you for the industry, because when we show you his numbers, they've been quite impressive. I'd like to welcome everybody here to the live chat. We're going to be going live here on our NBA rundown now, because we're getting a lot of new faces here at TonySpit.com. We're going to do a lot of videos. Now, obviously, we're always going to try and match the schedule. Sometimes they don't match, so if we do it the night before, it'll be on demand. We do a day of, it'll be live, and we'll give you the full rundown here with Joe. So just want to let you know that, I'm working with everyone's schedule, and we're not always going to match, but we're going to get the content out there for you guys. We're going to try and make sure that they're on demand, but if we can't match their schedules, then we're going to do it live the day of. So just want to let you guys know about that. But we'll make sure the content is out there. All right, appreciate there to our commenter there. Yep, we're getting great cappers here on our live shows here and our on-demand videos. I know you guys are going to see great improvement here on the content. I want to welcome in right now top performer over at TonySpix.com 2024 and 2023, Joseph Schultz. Welcome back.
How you been, Tony?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to this NBA rundown 9-game card from the association. If you don't know, Joseph Schultz has been a top performer at TonySpix.com. You can see for the year he's been outstanding. But as we scroll down to leaderboard 2.0, I wanted to show you guys his numbers because, again, he's just been cranking over at TonySpix.com. Of course, we got a full lineup here for Friday's action. It's going to be a big card. But we go to 2024, top on leaderboard over 3,000 units of profit. We go to 2023. Top on leaderboard over 3,000 units of profit, about 6,100 units of profit the last 14 months from Joseph Schultz, top performer at TonySpix.com. I don't think there's a handicapper. There isn't a handicapper on these legit documented sites that are performing better than Joseph Schultz. He's a top handicapper in the industry right now. So we're ready to roll here. Joseph, congratulations. Great work here in your 14 months on the site.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
You got it. All right, let's do this NBA rundown here. Full 9-game card. We'll get started here with the Hornets and 76ers. We see Philadelphia going to be a big favorite here. 11.5. The total coming in at 214.
Right. So Philly has owned Charlotte, winning 8 out of the last 10 against them. But all of those, well, don't hold me to that. Maybe not all of them, but most of them, if not all of those games, were with Joel Embiid. And this does actually set up as a good spot for the 76ers. Charlotte's playing their 6th game in 9 days. 5 of those games were on the road. Philly's rested. They've played 1 game in the last 4 days. I was looking ahead to this game because I saw that the spot was setting up nicely for the 76ers. But I was expecting a number something like the Sixers minus 5.5 or 6, maybe even 6.5. I was surprised to see such a big number. But obviously no Joel Embiid. They're definitely going to be without DeAnthony Melton. Probably even without Kelly Oubre. I could possibly Charlotte has been playing well for about a 5 or 6 game stretch before running into the buzzsaw that is the Milwaukee Bucks right now. But even with all that said, Charlotte's just not a team I could back. They're tanking. They got Ball still out. I don't even know how healthy he is or isn't. I think if they were in contention, he might even still be playing. So I don't want to step out there and try to catch a falling knife with the Hornets. It sets up well. The spot's great for the 76ers. It's a lot of points. I know people don't always want to hear this, and I'll say it from time to time, but some games are just better to stay off. If I have a free bet and I have to play this game, I'm going to take the rested team at home.
All right, we had Joseph Schultz here, liking the 76ers here in this spot. Of course, laying the 11.5. All right, let's continue here on the NBA rundown, joined by Joseph Schultz. Get his premium plays over at TonySpix.com. Next game here on this 9-game card from the NBA, we go to the Cavaliers and Pistons going head-to-head. We see this line come down. Cavs overnight 9. Now Cavs 8.5. We see the total 221.5.
Okay, so here's a game where I actually like one of the sides. Detroit isn't quite double-digit underdogs here, but they opened up at 9.5-point underdogs, and they're still. Oh, is it down to 8.5? Wow.
8.5. Yeah.
Okay, so they're 10-3, as double-digit underdogs in their last 13 games. The Cavs will be on back-to-back here, and they'll be in their third game in 4 nights, coming off a double overtime game against Chicago. Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell all played at least 42 minutes in that game. Guys like Strauss and a couple others, they were close enough to 40 minutes. This also could be a look-ahead game for Cleveland with the Knicks on deck for them. The Knicks obviously and Cavaliers are going to be fighting for what I think would be the 3rd and 4th seed, because I think the Bucks are going to probably catch them and get the 2nd seed. But they'll be battling, so they're going to probably be looking ahead to that game. Now, Cleveland has won 5 straight games against the Pistons, but they only covered in 2 of those games. Detroit has played well recently, going 3-0 against the spread in their last 3, while Cleveland is 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. I'm going to keep taking the Pistons close to double-digit dogs. As long as they keep showing me that they can do it, or they're not at a severe rest disadvantage. So I like the Pistons here in this game.
All right, Joseph Schultz, top performer at TonySpitch.com for 2023 and 2024. He's liking the Pistons here at plus 8.5 here against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's continue here on our NBA rundown, joined by Joseph Schultz. Next up, Warriors here on the back-to-back here to face the Raptors. This one had opened to 2.5. Warriors now up to 3-point favorites. We see the total coming in at 235.5.
Okay, so this is a bad spot for the Warriors. They're on back-to-back, 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 5 nights, and 6 games in 9 nights. So it's with travel. Now, the Warriors are fighting like hell to get out of that play-in tournament, or at least have home court advantage if they do have to play in it. They're 19-8 against the spread on the road this year, so I don't think the road spot's going to be the problem. I think it's the rest disadvantage. Also, I read somewhere that the Warriors got in really late into Toronto, and they weren't into their hotels until late in the morning there. So I like the Raptors with the points. It's not the most comfortable spot for me because I am big on the Warriors. I just took them about a week and a half ago on a futures bet to make the playoffs while they were still plus 125. So I do like them, and I do think they will perform well, but this is a really bad spot for them.
All right, Joe Schultz says here the schedule maker is going to be tough on the Warriors in this spot, and we've seen it many times. He likes the Raptors here plus 3 against the Golden State Warriors. All right, let's continue here on our NBA rundown, joined by Joseph Schultz, top unit producer at TonySpitch.com for 2023 and for the first 2 months of 2024, nearly 3,000 units of profit. He's been on absolute fire. Let's continue on here. Mavericks and Celtics, this is your ESPN game. We see the Celtics up to a 9-point favorite now, total 237.5.
Hard to fade the Celtics, especially at home. They're the best team in the NBA, in my opinion. Boston's 3-0 straight up and against the spread against the Mavs.
Oh, we might have.
Sorry about that.
No
the Celtics are 3-0 straight up and against the spread against the Mavs, but the Mavs are a different team than the one the Celtics faced earlier this season. They've added P.J. Washington, and what I loved was adding Daniel Gafford to add some paint protection and a little bit of toughness that they were lacking. Also, Luka and Kyrie are clicking really well. We haven't really even seen them play this well together since he's been there. Now, I do believe Luka is questionable for this game. Boston has won 9 straight games and they've only covered in 4 of those games, though. I actually lean towards the Mavs getting the points. it's a triple revenge spot for the Mavs. Like I said, they've lost 3 games to the Celtics already. Obviously, I'm a lot more comfortable if Luka is announced in for sure, but we also know that the line will move if that happens. So I do lean towards the Mavs getting 9 points.
All right, Joe's results. Find his premium plays, top unit producer at TonySpears.com. Likes the Mavericks +9. The report here on Luka is he did participate in the shoot-around, which is a good sign for him playing. That is the latest report right now on Luka Doncic participating in Friday's shoot-around. All right, let's continue.
Right. So I would definitely, if you like the Mavs, I'd grab them now. And I also forgot to mention that the Celtics could have a little bit of a look-ahead game coming up with the Nuggets on deck.
There you go. From Joseph Schultz here. We'll continue here on our rundown, joined by Joseph Schultz. Next up, we've got the Sacramento Kings on the road here to face this Timberwolves team. Timberwolves are laying 6 in this one, total 225.
All right. Well, okay, so Anthony Edwards is questionable here, which it's one of my pet peeves when I think that the team knows whether they're going to play or not. I think they already know, but we're going to have to play guessing games, I guess. The Wolves are gearing up for a playoff run, and so it's almost like they've taken their foot off the gas a little bit. They get a decent lead versus a team, and they end up letting them cover because, like I said, they take their foot off the gas. And if you need an example of that, you could just watch the game against the Spurs. They could have won. They could have blew them out in that game, and they didn't, which made me happy because I was on the Spurs with the points. But yeah, they could be winning these games by a lot more than what they are. They're only 1-3 against the spread in their last 4 games. I lean towards the Kings in this game for the simple fact that they're getting more than the key number in the NBA of 5, so they're getting 6. The only thing with that is I need to know that De'Aaron Fox is going to play in this game before I could make that bet.
All right, so to find his premium plays over at TonySpears.com. Like Sacramento Kings at +6. There are 6.5s out there, so do your line shopping. We do have a report here on De'Aaron Fox. He did participate in Friday's shoot-around, so some positive news about Fox. No report on Anthony Edwards, but Fox participating in that shoot-around here. Find that 6.5 if you like the Kings. All right, let's continue here on the NBA Rundown here, joined by Joseph Schultz, top unit producer at TonySpears.com the past 2 years. We got the next game up here. Trailblazers and Grizzlies, these teams going head-to-head here. And they'll go again tomorrow. We got Grizzlies here laying 1.5 here, total 208.
Oh, you know what, Tone? That is a game I actually did not cover. I don't know why I didn't see it. So the Trailblazers and Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are really feisty. What they did about a month or so back was they went after the Ja Morant injury was that they went into full tank mode. They started to sit Jaren Jackson Jr. when he was healthy. It's sitting a bunch of other guys and trying to lose games, but they called up a few G League guys, and the opposite happened. They started playing really well because, and my theory on that is because no matter what the front office wants, when you put those guys in there that are fighting for contracts and their livelihood, you're gonna get, if you don't get the results, you'll definitely get the effort. So they went on a little bit of a run, but that's not sustainable. This is a game I would 100% stay away from. That's probably why I overlooked it. The Trailblazers are unpredictable. They do have talent. They have Ayton, Simons, a bunch of guys, Scoot Henderson, but you never know when they're going to sit those guys. So, I'm going to just go with, I don't really have an opinion on this game. It's throwing darts.
All right, they're up on the air there with Trailblazers and Grizzlies. I will say this here, probably an impact player you guys probably don't know about is the second-round pick out of South Carolina, G.G. Jackson. That 19-year-old has been actually putting up some points for him. He's questionable, So if you're looking to take Memphis, you better make sure G.G. Jackson's playing because he's a guy who can put up 20 for this team, and they're not going to get much scoring anywhere else. So that's something to keep an eye on is G.G. Jackson if you like the Grizzlies side. All right, let's continue on here on the rundown here, joined by Joseph Schultz. Next up, we're going to look at the Pacers and Pelicans going head-to-head here. We see the Pelicans up to a 5-point favorite, total 239.
Okay. These teams obviously just played. The Pacers got the win in that game, but it was a terrible, terrible spot for the Pelicans, and they still hung around. Their defense actually matches up well versus a Pacers offense that most teams can't slow down. Well, this game would be the first road game for the Pacers since the break. It's an immediate revenge spot for the Pelicans. I think they bounce back here. I would take how I would play this game specifically would be the Pelicans against the spread the first half. The Pelicans are 18-9-2 against the spread at home in the first half this season.
There you go. From Schultz, find his pre-and plays over at TonySpace.com. Likes the Pelicans first half here against the Indiana Pacers. All right, let's continue here on the NBA Rundown, joined by Joseph Schultz. Next up, your doubleheader game. I know late time start there out in Chicago here. Bulls and Bucks going head-to-head here, but the Bucks road favorites 4.5. The total 222.5.
Right, so the Bucks will be on back-to-back. It'll be their third game in 4 nights and their fourth game in 6 nights. But the starters didn't have to play too many minutes last night, so it's not the end of the world. They're 7-3 straight up in their last 10 against the Bulls. The Bucks are the real deal. Now, I don't think they'll even make it to the finals because the Celtics are that well-rounded, but they really are. Like I called them before, they're a buzzsaw right now. I predicted that they would come out and win their first handful of games after the break when they had some time to get some practices in with Doc, and then they made the addition of Pat Beverly. So I really like what they're doing there. I'm not stepping in front of that train. The number isn't that big. And then you add to that Caruso may not play in this game, and he is such an important piece for the Chicago Bulls with his defense, and he adds scoring. Milwaukee is at Chicago and with a rest disadvantage, but there's just no reason not to lay the points with the Bucks. This is an easy one for me. Bucks all the way.
All right, we got Joseph Schultz says he likes the Bucks here, laying the 4.5 here against the Chicago Bulls. The word here on Caruso's questionable with that hamstring. He missed Wednesday's game due to that hamstring issue, and of course no update there on Caruso in this one. All right, let's continue on here on the NBA Rundown here, joined by Joseph Schultz. He is the top unit producer at TonySpace.com for 2024 as well as 2023, producing over 6,000 units of profit over the past 14 months. If you can verify that by going to Joseph's handicapper page, and you'll see all his results there. Let's continue here on the rundown here as we close out the card tonight with the Wizards and the Clippers. Boy, the Wizards have the Lakers scared a little bit there, but they came out a little short, but got the cover here. Clippers, man, this is boy, they've been a miss since coming off the All-Star break. Clippers 15.5, total 238.5.
Oh my God. 15.5, and I believe it's going to climb a little more, which is insane. The Clippers are in really bad need of a confidence-boosting win here. They could win by as many. They could probably name the score in this game, to be quite honest with you. Washington's on a back-to-back, coming off an overtime game, I believe.
Yep.
The Clippers are 8-1 in their last 9 against Washington, and they've covered in 8 out of those 9 games. I'm not going to make a huge deal about this game. It's pretty easy. The only thing I could say is the Clippers do have, may have a look-ahead spot here, facing the Timberwolves and the Bucks coming up next in their next 2 games. But yeah, it's the Clippers or nothing here. I could see not wanting to lay such a big price, but there's no other way to bet this game.
Especially when you blow a 21-point lead. You can't take the foot off the gas. I mean, it's just bad, and you got to secure the basketball more. So Joseph here on the Clippers laying the 15.5. There again, a team just blew a 21-point lead. This is the spot where they can just blow it out, coming off that bad taste of blowing that big lead against the Lakers. There you go. The full NBA rundown here from Joseph Schultz, who is the top unit producer over at TonySwiss.com. All right, Joseph, tonight we've got this 9-game card from the NBA. We've got action on the ice as well as college hoops. Head into a huge weekend. Of course, we'll put up Joseph's record. As you can see, he's been an absolute fire here. 3,054 units of profit for the year. What do you have going over at TonySpicks.com?
Well, as always this time of year, I'm really focused in on the NBA, and I'll have a 3-pack for the NBA today. As soon as we finish up here, I'll go put that in. I'll also have my best bet, profit guaranteed for just $15. And coming up, March Madness, I'm going to be focusing in on the tournament, and we'll be putting out a lot of things for that. There's also longer-term packages for weekly, 3 days, weekly, monthly, and yearly that you can buy if you want a better value.
That's right, guys. Get on board. Joseph over at TonySpicks.com. 3,054 units of profit for the year documented. He was top unit producer in 2023 as well as 2024. This is the first 2 months of the year, and Joseph's been on an absolute tear right now. And it's you guys can verify those numbers. You've seen them every day on the leaderboard at TonySpicks.com. So get signed up. That 1-year pass is a great value right now. You get all of Joseph's premium plays for the year. Remember this promo code. You will save 20% off when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Joseph's plays by going to his handicapper page. Click the All Capper tab, get signed up. Tony T is the promo code. Save that 20% off. All right, Joseph, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success, and we'll catch up with you again for tomorrow's games.
All right, great to be here. See you later, Tony.
You got it. That was Joseph Schultz. I'm Tony T, guys. Appreciate everybody joining us in the chat. Shout out to everybody. Gilbert Lopez, appreciate your contributions in the chat. Amir TV as well. That's going to do it for our show today. We'll catch up.